So do I, and I made it. Welcome to Rebel Base Radio episode. Do you know, Nat? Do you know? 9. Well done, everybody. Clap.
I forgot that happened.
Matt is in the house as
what's
expected.
Up, Matt? As expected, not even.
But pleasantly expected. Hello, Matt. And Sheena is here also. Hello, Sheena. So new week, new things going on.
New series,
right? So this is crazy because last week, if you watched Rebel Base Radio episode 10 over on
I fixed it. I fixed it on YouTube and I fixed it on Twitch.
Over on Nat's channel, things went awry. I'm not gonna lie.
It was just another shitty episode of the Bad Batch.
It was. But you did make it, Matt, so it's all good. We did chat a lot of shit last week, but the good news is it wasn't absolute shit, so that's good. So that means we can move on to this week, and there's been a couple of big returns in this sort of community that we have. One, no one could give a fuck about, and another one is Mando. Mando is back.
The Mandalorian, season 3.
Season 3, episode 1, and
chapter 17.
Do they have names?
So other seasons have names to their chapters. This one didn't, but I also can double check because when I saw it when I was watching the episode on Wednesday, it just said chapter 17. It didn't have a name. Okay. But that could have possibly changed since Wednesday. They probably actually ended up getting. Let me see. Season 3, episode 1. Oh, it finally has a name. It's called The Apostate.
The Apostate, of course. And we know why this is. So, I mean, I'm not going to lie. This episode started off incredibly.
On a high note.
We started off with a bunch of Mandalorians, all different colors. Their outfits were looking dope. All the kids with their.
I thought it was a throwback.
Right.
I mean, I think that's what they were meant to. It was meant to do. Everyone was watching this, and it was like, oh my god, this is Din.
How he started.
How he started, and then gags on us. No, it's not.
No, it's not. What I did enjoy very much so, is I enjoyed the kids' helmets with their larger visors. I really like how that looked. It's very much reminiscent of the kids' versions of the helmets that Hasbro make because they're wider so kids can see out of it, and I really like that little touch. It's the little things that get
no,
me
it is, and basically this is their initiation ceremony into the Mandalorian or the Mandalore way
into the Watch. And I the reason why I thought this was Mando was because right before he was about to say, and I will then, he said, he was repeating the person, but he didn't say the final steps of I will never take off my helmet. Yeah.
I thought this was Din for a second, and they were about to pull us into a plot twist since he never said it. The rule is implied, it didn't count. But then that didn't happen at all, and all of a sudden a crocodile turtle came out.
First off, you know that, you clearly know that's in the water. Why are you doing this in the water?
And it came so fast. And I was just oh. And, oh my god!
Absolutely nuts. They love these big creatures in this show. Season 2, we had the crate dragon.
Just in Star Wars in general.
Yeah, and then in season 1, we had that big thing in the first episode in the ice that came out the ice and grabbed the Razor Crest.
Oh my god!
Yeah, so they love these massive alligator dragon things.
John likes to test the limits on how big we can make creatures. Same thing when we saw in Boba. How much can we test the limits of CGI?
For sure. And it still looks great. So well done.
Terrifying. I was actually like in fear for my life for those kids. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like I really was like, please don't let these kids die here, because that would suck.
Yeah.
And
That
but then all of a sudden, someone comes in.
Like, I mean, the Mandos were going at it. They were in there on their jetpacks. Paz Vizsla had his big old gun, giving it.
Oh, dude, they were getting reamed.
Yeah.
One person was getting drowned.
It felt like constantly someone was getting drowned and someone was having to save them. And right when you think, oh my days, loads of stuff's coming. Big old crocodile. It is a great way to start the season. Hey, Izzy. Yes, I saw them do those grapple ropes, and I'm like, you ain't pulling that thing down. And all it did was do a death roll, and you were screwed. But just when you thought all hope was lost and that the armor was going to take a beating, we heard that beautiful sound of the N1 starfighter come in. Mando, Grogu coming in just when you need them to blow a hole in the side of a crocodile.
And then on top of that, showed to everybody that the kid is not younger Mando. It's actually a kid.
Just some rando kid.
Actually, it's not some rando kid. I think it's somebody's, in like an actor wise, that is actually somebody's son. I just don't know who it is.
I think they were related from what I read.
They're related to somebody.
Paz Vizsla. It's Paz Vizsla.
No. I'm talking about the actor, the kid who.
Oh, the actor were Jimmy Fallon.
Is that Jimmy Fallon's nephew?
Yes.
Okay. It was somebody's nephew. I remember reading that somewhere, and I'm like, now that must be really cool. Like a young Kylo. It really did. Yeah. But I'm like, that must be a really cool gig, like to have your first, or if not his first movie, but like basically have some awesome screen time on the first episode of Mandalorian season 3.
Full face screen time as well.
Right. But Kylo Jr. Oh, and oh my God, to all the theories saying that like Kylo impregnated Rey. Hang on.
Yeah, so Mando turned up and he saves the day because that's what he does. He just,
And then he talks to what's her? The Umbra. I suck at names. This is why Armorer. I thought I said Umbra. Yes. Sorry. This is why I write notes, but for Mando, I didn't write notes because I was so gung ho of watching this episode immediately, because I don't understand why in the community people are like this. They have to post spoilers immediately. I don't remember like when the sequels are coming out, and this is like no one's shit on the sequels, but we as Star Wars fans, I can't speak for all. I was like the most sacred person with spoilers. I would watch the movie, and I literally posted on my Facebook once, and I'm like, if you want to discuss, I think it was at that time, The Last Jedi. If you want to discuss The Last Jedi, please DM me. Please text me. Like, we'll chat about it separately. I am not posting spoilers. And I'll give everybody a month. You all have a month to watch this movie.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, one of the reasons why we do this on a Saturday is because that gives people enough time to
watch it. Show. Yeah.
Because we want to talk about it properly, and we don't want to sit in and then spoil it for people that haven't seen it.
Yeah.
So,
but like I had to watch it on Wednesday immediately because I'm like, so I'm going to see something on Instagram. I'm going to get pissed off. And it's not like the Bad Batch where not many people post about it. Well, now it doesn't matter. Like, I think someone posted on Instagram saying, I feel so bad for like Bad Batch creators because like, they're not like, now they're being overshadowed by Mando. And I'm like, Bad Batch was supposed to come out last year. This is not my problem.
Did you watch this week's Bad Batch?
No, I did not.
You know what? It was actually a really good episode.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, annoyingly.
Oh God.
Yeah, annoyingly, it was a really good episode.
If you're telling me it's a good episode, I will watch it. But yeah. I was kind of hoping to wait till we were going to do that whole thing.
Oh, so we will. But just saying, it was a really good episode, and it featured the Bad Batch. So I don't know.
Interesting.
It actually started a bit of an arc. Don't worry, it won't go anywhere. But anyway, off of that shit onto Mando. So Mando's like, I'm cool, right? I got the dark saber and that, and she's like, nah, mate, you can't. You're not a Mandalorian because you took off your helmet, you big flid. And she's like,
And he's like, please, can I please atone? I
yeah,
will say this. I love Pedro Pascal, and like getting to see him in so many other projects in the past couple of years, other than Mando. It's been very interesting to see him again as to see him as Mando, because his voice is so different than his other characters.
yeah,
He's very proper when he speaks, if you notice.
yes.
And it's just kind of like Mando, get to the point. Is your phone going off?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I don't even know who's ringing me. It's all the way over there. I can't even reach it. And she's like, no, the only way you can atone is by bathing in the fires of Lake Doom. I can't remember what it was called. Underneath the citadel of Mandalore, and that doesn't exist. And he's like, but I've got this bit of rock that says it does exist. And she's like, well, I don't know. And so he's like, right, well, I'm going to go there. I'm going to bathe in these waters, and I'm going to show you. And yes, helmeted head. And she's like, all right, off you go. So off he goes.
Yeah, he pieces out. And we see someone when he pieces out.
Yeah, and I'm just like, yeah, fair play, fair dues. And then I forget. Then
we're going through. Hold on, pause if anything. We're going through a light. Okay, you're getting to the.
Yeah, okay. No, I'm getting to the good bit. Don't you worry. Like, of all the bits, obviously, so.
I immediately thought of you.
All right. So we're in hyperspace. Oh my god, I can't tell you the chills I got in this scene. I was just like, man. I was like, we're in hyperspace. Little old Grogu's sticking his head up in his little
just like
window, looking into hyperspace. And in there, you just see the outlines of the Purgil, and I'm like,
every single Rebels fan shot up out of their seat and started pointing me like, yo.
It was the Leo meme all over. People were like, now for those of you that don't watch Rebels, well, first off, what the fuck are you doing? Secondly, Purgils are a very, very big deal in Rebels, and they actually point to potentially what's happening in the Ahsoka series. I don't really want to spoil Rebels for people, but fucking, you've had like 20 years, right? They fucking, the last time we saw Ezra and Grand Admiral Thrawn, they were being taken into hyperspace with a bunch of Purgils. So that's like, that will branch off to Ahsoka, I'm sure of it. A lot of people are like, will we get to see any Ahsoka stuff in this series? And I don't think we will. I think they'll just...
I have a theory about that. Because if you noticed with every single Star Wars show, they like inserting at least an episode or part of an episode where we see a character being featured in a different show.
Yes.
So, and they do that for testing reasons. They do it to test to see if it's being liked, if the reviews are good. Because if that's the case, then they're going to up the marketing more on that character in that show. So I have a theory. Somebody from Ahsoka that's not Ahsoka, because we've already seen Ahsoka multiple times. Somebody that's not Ahsoka is going to be shown in Mandalorian season 3. Either it could be Sabine, it could be
it's definitely Sabine.
Okay, so we see Sabine, and Sabine does well live action on this show. The marketing for her for Ahsoka is going to go up, and that's just a marketing tactic in film and TV. That's what they do to test different characters and test different things. That's kind of what they did with the Bad Batch in Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I don't know who it was, but you guys told Lucasfilms that we love the Bad Batch.
It's because it was the first couple of episodes of the return of the Clone Wars. It didn't count. No, I think Matt's right. I think it's definitely going to be Sabine. It makes the most sense. Like, we're talking Mandalorians. We're talking...
It could be Hera.
Yeah, it could be Hera, but we're also talking the legacy of the Darksaber as well. And we know that Sabine actually gave it to um me. Listen, I'm tired. What's her name?
Who, Bo-Katan?
Thank you. Listen, I've been at Comic-Con all day. I'm very, very tired, right? My brain is not working. Okay. Um I love Sabine too. I need to own Sabine's like helmet. Because I need another
Well, don't you have a
man.
3D printer now?
Yes, I know, but I've got so many helmets lined up to print. It's mental. So I think it's definitely she's going to work into it, because after we had the hyperspace thing, he went down to a planet in the cluster of Mandalore, which was quite cool because we've never really seen that before. We've never kind of been anywhere even near Mandalore in any of this.
At least not since the Clone Wars, and the only other planet we went to was the moon.
Yeah.
And that's it. We didn't go to anywhere else.
So here we had this really cool. I mean, it felt to me it had Vader's castle vibes.
It was a castle.
Yeah,
100%.
Castle.
And I wasn't expecting to see Bo-Katan there.
See, I knew she was because from the trailer I recognized the building.
Oh, I guess I didn't pay attention to that in the trailer, but yeah, when I saw her, she
was pissed.
They did her so dirt. There could be more episodes, and there could be a redeeming part, stuff like that. But I felt like she was done so dirty. You're like, Bo-Katan, like such an amazing person. You're telling her entire crew told her to fuck off because she is not wielding the Darksaber. But she's like, I'm like, yeah. To me, I'm like, some of the math is mathing, but some of the math ain't mathing, because I still felt like she had a genuine group of supporters prior to even her fighting for the Darksaber.
I think some of that may have been smoke and mirrors, to be fair.
That's what I was feeling.
Because there was no one there.
She's like, I'm alone. You can go fuck off now.
Sitting there chilling on a throne, and I'm like, no. She looked amazing. I like the fact that they've grown her hair out a little bit more. I think obviously they haven't. It's a wig. They've grown it out. They've made it like it's grown longer, because we have been told that there is a period of 1 to 2 years that Grogu's with Luke, which seems bizarre. But with hair growth and everything else,
but it also kind of makes sense, because we haven't seen Mando really since 2021. Mm-hmm. And to be fair, that's been like a year and some change. So if that means his training has taken him like a year or 2 years, and then he decided to go off half with Mando, that makes sense to me. Because also like he's not doing. Like I think I saw someone posted a meme saying, well, if Grogu was with Luke for a year, 2 years, why isn't the training, like, why isn't it showing like he's been trained for a year or 2 years? I'm like, don't forget, he's being trained like a Padawan, like a youngling to Padawan. They don't really get the extensive training you get when you're an apprentice to Jedi Knight.
Or if you're Luke. Who gets 2 days, backpack run, off your fuck.
I could never understand that when I was growing up. And I'm like, I don't get it. Like, don't you have to train for a very long time? I told this to my dad when I was a kid. I'm like, don't you have to train for a very long time to be a Jedi? And my dad's like, yeah. And he goes, why did it only take him a few days?
He's Luke fucking Skywalker, that's why. Sems, I will get to that after we've spoken about the rest of the episode, but I will tell you about Con. Do you know what? Fuck it. Yeah, it was good. It was quite busy. There you go. End of story. I am so tired. And I've got another day there, full day there tomorrow, and my back hurts because I'm old. So anyway, she's like, do one. And he's like, all right. So, I'm paraphrasing. So off he fucks again. And then he goes, he's like, clearly I need help to sort some stuff out. So he goes back to Navarro. Now, this also tracks with how long
It's been.
Grogu would have been with Luke. Like, that's been 2 years, because this place has gone, in the 3 seasons, it's gone from an absolute shithole to a
Oh,
really
developed.
nice, yeah,
Development.
with
Oh my
everything
god.
in place, everything running really nicely, and Grief looking like an absolute king.
Well, it's been since IG got
Got
self-destructed.
exploded, yeah.
Yeah, so it's basically since then till now they've redeveloped the city and made it functioning, like made it a home for people to actually live and not just pop in and out. And
Yeah.
I think that's really important because you don't see that a lot, especially. And the reason I'm saying you don't see that a lot is because most of the time, especially with the Empire is taking control of a lot of towns. So it's not fully developed because, once again, the rich will be the ones that are rich, the poor will be the ones shouted on all the time. But seeing what he did to Navarro, this is obviously post-Empire, but like he's turning a community that was once devastated,
yeah,
and making it whole again. And I can't say that happens much in Star Wars.
No. I mean, we haven't really seen it. We only ever see war.
We only see war in these cities, and that's what everybody knows, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, it's in the title. So
You're right.
you know that, like, it's not called Star
One can
Peace.
hope. One can hope, man. One can hope.
But it is nice to see that being rebuilt. The problem is obviously the First Order is going to just come through and fuck it over again. So
oh fuck yeah.
So it was nice to see that, and it was nice to see Grief actually being like the leader that you saw he could always be. And we had the statue of IG-11 looking like an absolute fucking hero that he was.
Because he is.
With his feet on top of stormtrooper helmets. I love that. And
that's how you repurpose a droid.
Yeah. This bit did confuse me though, when he's like, Mando's like, I need him back, and I'm like, what? You could have done this the whole time? I'm like, what? Why have you not done this sooner then? Why did you not bring him back? I don't know, 3 years ago, when you could have really used his help. Also, correct me if I'm wrong.
True.
His grenade went off. His grenade went off in his chest, right?
Yes, because he self-destructed.
So how was his also completely and utterly, like, fully functioning?
Well, they said they try to find as much pieces as they could in.
There's no way you're building back a fucking torso that's been exploded.
I personally think, if anything, they tried to they found new parts and just put it back to where they thought it could be, just to they just made a statue. You're being anal about it.
Oh, I know, but I'm like, the bomb went off in his chest. How was there anything left of him?
Did you? And I don't know if this is gonna stir some things in the comments, because people are very there is obviously some debate when it comes to the actress Gina Carano.
Yes.
But you know the shadiness that was said, or not the shadiness, but the line that was said to explain why she's not there.
Yeah, she's been headhunted.
She's been recruited. Yeah.
Like, I think that's probably the best way they could have done it.
Yeah, that's a more respectful way to do it too.
Yeah, it's just like, she's the character of Cara Dune still exists somewhere in the universe, but we don't get.
She's not dead.
Like, fine, I don't actually care. So, like, by the end of, like, middle to end of the last season, she was kind of pointless anyway. So
yeah, she was, because I thought that was mainly because they were trying to really go with the Rangers series, so they were trying to like pull her back for that.
Yeah. Well, either way, worked out. So that's all good. Whatever, like, people, and also, like, sometimes people just leave shows. You know, it could have been a case of that. Obviously, it wasn't, but fine. I don't think she's a character that will be missed. I think there's enough really good characters in this show that particular one is fine, absolutely fine. But he's like, let's go and rebuild IG-11. All right, let's do this. I knew the minute they started rebuilding him what was going to happen.
It was kind of it was kind of predictable because I thought in my head, I'm like, they won't be able to fully fix him here and now.
No.
Because it's just like, it just seems like he has been decimated. And unless you have the parts for that, then maybe. But if you don't have the parts for it, then you would have built him way back when.
Right.
And it was also kind of funny when Grief was kind of like telling Mando, he goes, "We have some beautiful land. You can come here and retire. Like, your mission's done." And he's just like, "I'm not here to retire, bro."
Yeah. I'm not done yet because
I'm not done yet. He goes, "But you have the kid. Like, you still have the kid." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's done." Yeah. But then he voluntarily came back to me.
Yeah. Now there's a whole new thing that's going on. It involves a planet and a lightsaber. Listen, it's been a couple of years. All right, just chill, Grief. I'm not ready to settle down just yet. But it was nice of him to like offer that and be like, "You can be the sheriff." Like, that was like super nice because you didn't need to do that. And I was just like,
yeah,
nice.
But it's also once again showing how they are truly trying to they're succeeding at making Navarro a habitable place to be.
Safe as well.
And of course, you had that scene where you saw the pirates.
Yeah. Right. The makeup on those pirates looked incredible.
They looked, I mean, if we could have, okay, I know that Phantom Menace is my favorite movie, and I really never shit on it, but this is the time I'm going to shit on it. If they were to have that prosthetic makeup back in Phantom Menace for the Trade Federation guys, I think they would have looked much cooler than this little robot with with the prosthetic on. But no, they looked really good.
They looked so good,
and they were all different species too. So it's kind of like you were seeing this amazing makeup of different species on these people, and I was just like, we can finally make these really live action and not CGI. Like,
yes, exactly.
It's just showing that you can really bring Star Wars to life.
As much as I don't want to say it, but I'm a little disappointed in how good that looks compared to how the Grand Inquisitor looked in the Kenobi series. And I don't want to say that because I'm like, he looked fine, but he didn't look right. He had a fat head, and the one thing the Grand Inquisitor doesn't have is a fat head.
He's a long
head. So that's a very good point. You can rebuild a droid, but you're right. Without the memory, it's just a new droid, and that's what we got. Like, although it actually reset back before Queel had his time with him, and it reset back to the thing that was trying to kill.
Because you saw the kid, like, and
and that was some Terminator shit as well.
That
was literally the end of Terminator.
It was, and the only thing that got him to stop was the droid pushing the head and just going kapew.
Yeah, which was genius, absolutely genius.
That's called subtle comedy in Star Wars at its finest, and I laughed. I was laughing at that. I'm like, I love this. This was good.
So good. And so then they take him. I loved this bit. So he's like, we need to get him back. How can we do it? And Grief's like, yeah, there's probably some people that might be able to help you.
Babu.
And I was so happy to see their what they call Anzellans. Yeah. To see them being included, because Babu Frick's a legend, right? We can all agree, even if people.
He was a highlight.
He
was the highlight of the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I don't agree with that, but okay.
He was one of them, at least.
Thank you. The highlight was Ghost turning up at the end. So they took him there, and this entire scene was just made me happy. Like, them like saying we can't fix it, and Mando's like, I don't know what you're saying, and then Grief's like, they say that they can't fix it, and then Grogu just starts hugging them, and it's really sweet, and it's really cute,
And he's
I
like,
love
bad
it.
baby, bad baby.
Yeah. Not squeezy. Just brilliant. But they're like, we can fix him if you get these things, right? Here's the difference, right? So Din's sent off on a fetch quest, right?
Similar to somebody.
It doesn't feel that way. It feels like an adventure.
I mean, it usually ends up turning into a very fun adventure.
Yeah.
Kind of not like, you know, a certain batch of bros.
Yeah.
When they go on a fetch quest, it's just a fetch quest.
Shit.
Yeah, shit.
So Mando's like, right, off I go. He takes off. I love his shit. And he's re-met by, like, I knew it was a mistake to leave that one pirate alive. I'm like, this is going to end up biting you in the ass. And it did. The pirates came back, and they were like, you killed our friends. We're going to sort you out. And Din was just like...
decimated most of them.
Like an absolute beast in that N1. I'm not going to lie. Like, I really, really miss the Razor Crest. Like, a lot.
I do. And I think about many things. I think about it all the time. And the only reason why is just like, because the Razor Crest was a home, really, for him.
Like I don't know how comfortable they are in that ship. Like, like I want to see them get a new Razor Crest and have the N1 like sit on top of it. Do that and use the N1s like boosters, because the Razor Crest was slow as hell as well.
I'm just like, also, I'm like, Mando, how are you going to the bathroom, bro? Like,
yeah,
wasn't there like a toilet on your fucking ship?
There was. He's just going in his suit. It's just real shiny. We know why he needs to get the thing, because we know what the idea for the season is. That's correct. We know why he's doing these things that he's doing. It does set a path for the whole season. So he decimates pretty much everybody, and then
the last one kind of lures him in.
Swamp Thing. That's what he looked like.
He looked like the Swamp Captain.
Yeah. He looked like what's his face? Davy Jones.
Barbosa. Oh yeah, Davy Jones. I was gonna say Barbosa.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna get you, and then Din's like, no, you ain't. I'm off. And that was the end of the episode. This sets up quite a few things. It sets up him trying to have to get the stuff to rebuild IG-11. Do we think he's going to go back to Queel?
Maybe.
Isn't Queel dead? Wait, Queel is dead.
Oh, wait, yeah. Holy shit.
He got killed on his blurg, didn't he? Shit. Okay, Queel's dead. Gutted. So I don't know where he's going for this memory unit. Maybe to Queel's house. Box.
Don't know.
Spare.
I mean, we could also be going to a planet we've never seen before.
Dead. Brilliant. Yes. All right. He's dead. I remember that now. Very tired. Yeah. So maybe he's going back there. I don't know. But we also know that he's now probably being pursued by a bunch of pirates. And he's still got to try and get to Mandalore.
See, I'd be more excited for the pirates if, like, the pirates were, like, I don't know, are very...
And now you see that makes sense. That does make sense. Yes. We appear to have lost Nat somehow. Don't know how, but she seems to have gone. So I'm just going to have to talk. Oh my god, this is the worst thing in the world. Date, you're back. You disappeared for quite
That
some
was
time.
my Wi-Fi just had like the weirdest blip, and I was. It was that was very weird. I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. We'll forgive you. It wasn't really your fault. Um, yeah, Matt's got a point. He said it's Pelimoto. She has a bunch of droids, and we know he gets an R5D4. So
That's true. I mean, we are gonna see her again. Like she's also a
she's
very.
brilliant.
I
She's
love
awesome.
her.
You see, and this is why it's okay for some other characters to leave, because we have great characters to kind of be there instead. So that's good. And so that's kind of the end of the episode. What did you think overall to it being a season opener?
So I did mention this to you when I first saw it. If I get shit on it, that's fine. I don't know why I was expecting more. Not more of the episode, but I was expecting more. I don't know. I was expecting more from the episode. Didn't get it. I love the.
Oh, that's a great shot of Nat there. She's clearly her Wi-Fi is having issues. I personally, I really enjoyed the opening episode. You're back again.
I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. This is actually really infuriating. I'm like closing out everything that I have right now. But so I love the opening. I loved seeing Bo-Katan. I think seeing her was kind of underwhelming for me because of how great of a character she was set up in last season. Loved Navarro. Thought that was a great thing to see. Seeing the Anzellums, I believe they're called, also great. But once again, like I'm seeing the only big fight or the only big chaos we really got. Oh, the only two chaoses was the beginning, which once again I said it was a great part of the opening. But then the pirates.
And he did make pretty short work of those pirates.
Yeah, it was just like I thought it was a good first episode. I didn't think it was the best, the greatest. Like,
yeah,
I'm still like hoping that better episodes are going to come in the following season.
I mean, we always have it like the opening season.
I just came in with this is why I don't do this. I came in with a way too high expectation for Mandalorian season 3.
The thing
I
is,
was like up here with it, and I was just I never do that.
No, I agree, but I will happily say that this first episode was better than everything we've had from the Bad Batch this season.
Oh, dead ass! Like I think it was.
We're on a plus.
We're on a plus, but as a live action show, I came in with way too high of expectation. It's kind of like with Obi-Wan, Book of Boba, Mando season 2, Mando season. Like I came in with zero expectations. Like I didn't want to come. I came in with zero expectations. I didn't set the bar high because then I didn't want to be disappointed. I set it way too high for Mando for season 3 because I was just like, oh my god, this is gonna be the best thing we're gonna be seeing. And I'm like, put yourself down a bit.
Why didn't?
It was good, just wasn't great in my opinion.
Yeah. It did feel a bit short. I got to the end and I was like, wait, is that the end? You know, for 30, what was it? 30. It ran 37 minutes, but we all know with the end of Mando, it's like a 5-minute finish. So, like, you're talking really 32 minutes. That's quite short for an episode of Mandalorian. See, that's interesting. See, I always felt like season 1 was a slow burn from the beginning. Like, it didn't hit banger straight away.
I think that was mainly because of like it was just introducing us to Mando and to Grogu into that whole storyline. Season 2 was real. Obviously, it got better because a lot of more important storylines were coming in. Plus, once again, we saw amazing cameos from like our favorite characters, Ahsoka, Luke. So it's kind of like I'm just hoping Mando doesn't become what other Star Wars shows are. Will the series hold up without the cameos? Which I think I think Mando does, but once again we're like, oh yeah, the best episode is because we saw Luke.
But then season 1 didn't really have like the only cameo, if you want to call it that, was Moff Gideon. We didn't know who he was anyway.
True.
And season 1, as far as I'm concerned, like while Sheena says it's like season 1 was a slow burn, it was a great show because it introduced us to all these new things. I do think there is an element of, because we've been a little bit spoiled by cameos, especially season 2. You give us Bo-Katan first time we ever see her in live action. You're starting to sprinkle in more Mandalorians, and you're like, oh my god. Then there's mention of a Jedi. We then get Ahsoka
live action for the first time,
god, right? And then we get Luke, and you're like, this is crazy. This is the return of Luke, young Luke. So I think season 2 spoiled us in quite a high level. So I think we need to get back to the level of season 1, where it's going to be like, right, what is Mando and Grogu going on to do this week, and less about who's going to be possibly popping up. Because it's not going to be Cal Kestis. That's for sure. That's been,
every show someone's like, it's going to be Kestis.
Yeah. Every single show, Cal Kestis has turned up. Still not turned up. So, I think if we just kind of sit there and go, you know what, it's Mando's show. Let's see what Mando's going to do. I'm looking forward to that. I really do want to see Mandalore so much. But we've got the whole sort of clone aspect as well that's going to be dropping into it, and that's the one thing I'm going to say about Bad Batch, which was super interesting, is they're talking a lot about the cloning.
Oh, yeah.
This week.
Oh, they are? I got to watch it then after this.
Yeah. We saw season 1 just before season 2, so we had it all to watch. Was fab, probably why for sure.
I have to rewatch a lot of Star Wars shows. I haven't seen season 1 of Mandalorian since it came out. I haven't seen season 2 of Mandalorian since it came out.
I see. I've watched both of those twice. So, because I watched it once on my own and then once with my kids. So,
I'll watch Attack on Titan like no tomorrow.
I watch The Office like over and over again. As soon as I finish season 9 of The Office, I start season 1 again. It's my happy place.
Same for Attack on Titan, but I was devastated yesterday.
Yeah, I heard you weren't the happiest of people.
I was crying so much.
You've got both of Mando on DVD. Do DVD still exist?
They do. How I got the Rise of Skywalker.
I mean, I've got the Rise of Skywalker on Blu-ray.
Hold on. They did release seasons 1 and 2 on DVD.
Wow.
I guess for those that don't want to get Disney Plus.
No, fair enough. You know what? Though, to be fair, I'm finding myself watching Disney Plus more than I watch Netflix. That's for sure.
I am watching everything but Netflix nowadays.
The only thing I keep going back to Netflix for is The Office.
Oh, we don't have The Office on our Netflix.
No, I know you don't. It was supposed to leave ours at the end of January, and they were like, just kidding, we're keeping it for 3 more years. I
go to Netflix to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender and The Legend of Korra. Because that's only on Netflix. But everything else, HBO Max, Amazon Prime.
We don't have HBO Max here.
So how did you watch House of the Dragon?
It's on Sky Atlantic. So you have to have Sky. Yeah. Well, you just do what everybody else does, and that's download it.
Oh, that's true.
I mean, that's fair. I still buy certain things on Blu-ray. Do you know what? I've got this really bad. It's got nothing to do with Star Wars. I've got this really bad obsession with buying the same film every time it's re-released on a new format.
So
I've
how
got
many
the big
versions?
on every format you can imagine.
So how many versions of the original trilogy do you have?
Oh shit.
Because they got remastered a lot.
I've still got. Oh, I can go even further back than that. I've still got my original taped off the TV versions of Star Wars back in the late 80s.
Is that able to be played while I'm there?
If I can dig out my VCR, yeah. And it's still got all the ad breaks in it and everything.
I love that. All my Star Wars DVDs are here because when I grew up, I grew up on VHS too, but my family didn't own any of the Star Wars VHSs. My grandfather gifted me the original Star Wars trilogy DVD set. Nice. So I have the original DVD set from that. My Phantom Menace is still Puppet Yoda. When I found out people were getting used to CGI Yoda in Phantom Menace, I'm like, I don't know what version you're watching. Yeah. But mine is Frank Oz, man.
So I've got the original trilogy on taped off the TV. I've got it when they first ever released A New Hope in widescreen. I've got that VHS. I've got Empire and Jedi on VHS. I've then got them special edition VHS. I've then got the original DVD release of the original trilogy, which features the theatrical cuts. It's the only time you can get the theatrical cuts.
Wait, I have that. Wait, hold on.
It's a double DVD set.
Oh, please. I have this one.
No,
no, it's not on it?
No, that was the second release.
Okay, I have this one.
So show me the discs that you've got. Slide one of those out for me. Let me have a look. Oh, maybe you have. Open it up. Is it a double disc set?
Hold on. Oh, God, this is broken.
Just a single disc?
Yeah, hold on. What the hell just came out? Oh, this broke. Oh, shit.
So they released a special edition, but also it contained a theatrical cut on DVD. It was the only time you...
I got the bonus material.
Nice. You need to stop opening them. Everything's falling out.
I know. I haven't opened these in like years.
Decades, yeah, I know. See you later, Matt. Have a good one.
Wait, hold on. I put this in the wrong box.
So I've got versions where it's got the theatrical cut. So it's the only version, it's the only way you can get theatrical cut that's not on a VHS.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with all the proper versions in it and all the proper sounds and noises and no jabber, no nonsense singing part in Return of the Jedi, none of that. Then I've got them on Blu-ray.
I don't have anything. I think the only thing Blu-ray are my sequel trilogies.
So I've got
because they came out because I don't own a Blu-ray player. I only have a DVD player. So when they were coming out, they were only selling them DVD Blu-ray together, and I'm just like, great. But now I have this Blu-ray disc that I'm never going to be using because I don't have a Blu-ray player.
So I've got the. Oh, actually, when you come over, I'll show you this. I've got a big sleeve version of The Force Awakens, and it looks like a record. You open it up, and all the discs are inside. There's like 4 discs. I've got that.
I feel like I'm going to a museum when I'm going to your apartment.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I've got that. I think I've got the big disc version of The Last Jedi as well, and then I've got the super special metal case for Rise of Skywalker with like Kylo Ren pins and stuff in it. Oh, wow. Yeah, but yeah, and I've got like 6 different versions of The Big Lebowski because I bought that numerous times. Sometimes also, if they release it in a nice steel case, I have to own the steel case as well. I've got two versions of it, of the Big Lebowski in steel, two different steel cases. Bill and Ted, I've bought that a few times.
Love that movie.
So yeah, I just seem to do that. Lost Boys, I've bought countless times. My favourite films, Goonies. Christ, I've got every version of Goonies you could possibly imagine. So yeah, that's random story for you there. Yeah.
So I guess now that we're at the end of this, what would you give rating wise? What do you rate this episode?
I'd probably give it a good 8 for me. I enjoyed it. It made me want to watch the rest of the season for sure.
I'm at like a 7.5 just because I was expecting a little bit more. But I guarantee you like that might go straight to a 9 moving forward just because like I once again I just have really high hopes for this season. So I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot of amazing things. We're going to be seeing a lot of amazing things hinting at Ahsoka. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. Like I know there are people out there that are straight Mando fans and like love the armor, love all that.
Yep.
I'm a straight Ahsoka fan. So like Mando's great, but when you hinted me Ahsoka, you gave me high hopes that I'll see her again. Yeah. So I want to see her again.
And we've seen her a few times. Now I do actually randomly just literally right next to me. I do have some of one of my Mando gauntlets there with my knife attached. All 3D printed. This is another one of my Mando. The other side of my Mando gauntlet that has missiles in it. Wait, one more. It's over it.
Just us nerds being nerds.
Right. Oh snap! My chest piece. My full Death Watch Mando chest piece there.
Oh wow.
Ready to be sanded and then primed and painted and everything else. So it's a go.
I saw someone post this on Facebook on like one of the celebration pages because they're cosplaying to Celebration and I guess they were staying with a friend or something. They shipped their Mando shit already now so it can get there in time for Celebration.
That makes sense.
So they don't have to worry about it at the airport. That's shipped. And then by the time they get there, their whole case has arrived, but then I'm like, it's gonna be a bitch to ship back.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for it a long time. The other end. The Ahsoka series is coming. It's coming in the end of the year, so it's gonna be great. We know it's gonna be great. So,
I mean, when you know Dave Filoni has put all his hard work into it,
you know it's gonna be good. You know it's going to be good. So that's it for this episode 9. Join us next week over on Nat's channel
for episode 10.
Finally for episode 10, covering season 3, episode 2 of the Mandalorian. Oh my God, there's too much. My brain got too many numbers. I can't deal with it.
Well, next week's episode is chapter 18. We can just reference them by chapters at this point.
Okay. Chapter 18 on episode 10. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Because that makes sense. Until then, thank you everybody for joining us. Until next time, may the force be with you.
Peace out, y'all.
Bye.